Morning, everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. So today is October 1st, and guess what that means in DCUO? That means the Halloween event starts today. That's right. Unlike most MMOs who have an event maybe a week or 2 weeks, DC's like, we know you have alts. We know we got a lot of shit that you want to get, maybe on multiple characters. So guess what we do? Oh yeah, we give holiday events for a fucking month. Yes! Awesome! I love it. This is why. I love this shit. It's like you don't need to rush. Enjoy the content. Play your normal shit. It's here. It's like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So guess what I'm gonna do? Oh yeah, Mystic's gonna be doing my events because they got a new shit. Now check this out. So we have the vendor over here. If I could get to it. No, damn it. Fuck. Okay. All right. So Halloween vendor. This one's the biggie, the swarming bats. Or I definitely want to get this. This is pretty badass. So I'm really looking forward to like getting this ore. It's just really cool. You can see it like maybe on a Batman type tune. So cool. I love that they have these little things like this. Right, it's kind of cool. Very cool. All right. We have the Boo dog this year. That's been added. Okay, so there he is. Isn't he just little friggin' cute? He's so cute. Nah. Okay, so basically it's a trinket. So you can get three different trinkets for your class. I mean, there's a total of like 5 actually, but you know, whatever. We have the books, 50 hairstyle, new hairstyle. Of course, you can't see it with my mask, but whatever. We have hats. We got a new gear ensemble altogether. Oh my god, the headless jack. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like, what? What? Where'd my head go? Frig. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that. Oh my god. Yes. That's badass. Pilgrim hat. Yeah, and then you bleh. Bonnet. Okay. Batman jack-o'-lantern. Okay. It's a bat. Okay. There's jack-o'-lanterns. Whatever. It's for your house. New house shit. Now, where's the other booze, man? Is that like, you know, I mean, is that real? For real? Should be having the other booze on here, you would think. Halloween robbery mask. Okay. Arkham Asylum gate. What? Let's check this out. That's cool. Housing item. All right. A lot of housing items, man. So you can do like a whole Arkham type theme in your house. Okay, sure. Twisted branches. A lot of housing shit, man. Holy shit. Greasy spine. That's actually pretty cool for a back. I actually like that. I could see that with a couple of different things, man. There's the booze. I was about to hit the panic button. So you always want to like get the booze. They're kind of limited because their max is like 240 something, and their stats or whatever. But it stacks, and that's what makes the booze kind of cool, right? So the booze stack, their buffs stack. That's why a lot of people still use the booze. They're just stacking stats when they hit trinket. It's not on the same GCD. So I already have all the skeleton stuff and all that from years ago. I think I have the pumpkin. I got the Stitch. Yeah, I got all that. So kind of cool. But if you want the Boo collection, it's what you go for. It's what we do. I'm so pumped, though. I'm so pumped. I probably am definitely going to be pushing for this. So this is a housing item. The Boo dog is. So it's a housing item. It's a little guard dog. Whatever. So I need a couple Boos though this year. We got to have Boos. So we always talk to Talia.
You may have noticed that hell has been unleashed upon Gotham.
I know, Talia. Send masks, blah, 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 da. Now, load out. Switch.
Someone has stolen some of my power and unleashed the chaos before it was ready.
I know, Talia.
Back to hell, where they will suffer until they are broken and ready to be my slaves.
Or is it Talia or Tara, or whatever her name is. She's evil. She's evil. And of course we have the instances. So how I always do this, and then this is kind of cool. I always go to the instance, man. I always get my shit. And I got to get my fragments too. So I always go to events and it'll pop up in the events tab. Usually Midnight Massacre. Right. So we're going to hit this one up. And I got to get stabilizers too. I can't wait. I'm just so glad I actually got to stay in for this one, man. I'm like, pumped up. Now, ESO's event is like another 2 weeks away or some shit. 2-3 weeks away. So I should be able to make everything in time. I don't know. What's up, Harry? Hope you're doing well. I love it. God, it's the event. I'm so pumped up. I'm like, yeah, sweet, excellent. And what's nice is, like I said, they give you a month, man. You can do the dailies, daily, whatever. And you can build quite a bit, especially if you're trying to get the feats, the holiday feats. They always add maybe 1 or 2 new feats too. I have to check out the feat list, see if it's been updated. So I hope you're doing good today, Harry. Don't cast spells, man. I know it's Halloween time and all that, but I'm just asking, man. Alright, we got that done. Dude was off. Dude's like, get me out of here. There's an event going on. He was on it. Events, man. Oh my god. Awesome. Love this shit. Okay, so we just got done with that event. We go to the Midnight Massacre. People will be loading in. Everybody will be getting on. I mean, it'll be a month of craziness. I promise you. Every time there's events, and that's probably another reason why this game continues to do so frippling good on this. They come out with these seasons.
So, are you enjoying the party?
Off.
I yanked the leash connected to that collar.
Tapped into Black Adam's powers of Shazam.
I don't even know if I'm actually in this bitch. It's a very small little one. You just got to know the mechanics, and it's pretty easy. Even noobs can do this. You're just in here trying to get credits every day. You can do it daily.
Come closer and feel the strength of Hercules.
Okay. Got to get these on the pedestals.
What? Those spells weren't up to my standards anyway. Perhaps Zatanna's magic will
Because he gets this shield.
Don't change.
Tiana, that's, or whatever her name is. Okay, strange crystals. You'll get the emote. Got 2 going. Where's the ghost? There's usually like these ghosts flying around. There they are.
Maybe we can lend you a hand. The Sentinels of Magic have conjured up a charm that will banish those masked apparitions.
I don't give a shit about the mask apparitions. Kill them all.
When it's full, you'll need to release the apparitions into the spectral retention chamber. We'll be sending it in shortly.
I'll get it. Alright, give me that. I know, I'm trying. Keep beating on him. I'm coming. I'm coming. Keep the ghost away. Keep the ghost away. Back it the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Collect the ghost. Back him up. When they fucking had this dude?
You crave respect, but your actions do not secure it. I've channeled your dark magic into an augment for good, and have bestowed a portion of it upon these heroes. Now, be gone from here.
Who are you to lecture me, phantom stranger?
Phantom stranger.
Fear with us mortals. I won't forgive you for ruining my Halloween.
Damn right. So I got a spooky bit, right? So if anybody doesn't know, those are spooky bits. It's whatever. You get like 1 or some shit like that. Then there's a vendor always in here. So I got 6. So for doing that, I got 6. So it's kind of cool. So oh, okay. 6 of them. Nice. Excellent. All right. Now once I get all this shit, then I can just log out and then do the daily quest. It's like poof. So probably in about, what, a week or something like that, I could have the quest. So we go here. We go to, hold on. Let's go to J. The Witching Hour. And we're going to get 4. So we can get 10 a day. You can get 10 a day. 10. Unless you do repurchases and shit. Use ghost powder on hell portals to reveal mask apparitions. Send mask apparitions back to hell. Torment terrified trick-or-treaters. Let me make sure this is in Gotham. Yeah, it's in Gotham. In sections of Gotham City. And then they're usually down around here. See, they even decorate the pools and stuff. It looks so festive. It's about the only time you get to hang out in the main portion, the main area of Gotham and Metropolis. Other than that, you're like most of the time just in the other instances. So you're like, oh, hey, what's up? I mean, cool. That's why I keep saying they need events. They need like these little notifications. Hey, we got something going on right here, right now. Now, I do love the Titan like boss, the word boss, like the robot and stuff. Because it takes like people to get together. So I actually really like that. I really, really do like that. I mean, that's kind of cool. Those are patrols. Fucking A. I don't give a fuck about that. I will be getting this exobyte though. I need more of these.
We'll bring you down.
Come here. And I'll just be like switching like mad, dude. Like this weekend for the triple credit weekend, I was busting on it. I was like, you can help each other out. Usually you'll get credits. Being a group does help, but you can kind of like, you know, be grouped up and stuff. All right, where in the fuck? I hear it. Aha, right there. I was about to say, man, I hear this thing. I see this little white icon. That's usually a good indication that there's something. I'm not needing briefings. See, people are like down the main road here doing like the quests. That's fine. Then there's usually some down here. Gotta fly around looking for those little fuckers, man. Aha! God! Fuck. Everybody's doing these bitches! You can backtrack too. There will be a lot of motherfuckers doing these things. Aha! See? Backtrack for the win. Don't worry, I got this one, boys. Get the other one. So all you have to do is be near them. You don't even have to do anything. As long as you're near the thing, you get credit. Okay, now we take these little balls. So we got all the trick-or-treaters. Yup. Where's the... Dude, get that ball. There's a trick-or-treater here that needs to be suffered. Right. Good job.
Will this ever stop?
No, probably not. Damn you! I will do these every day religiously until I get the items I want, or the feats, or whatever. Because it only takes like about 15 minutes. And I usually will like set this all up with my other shit that I need to do typically. Now it is harder to do when you're by yourself to get these little trick-or-treaters because they like to run. Nope, Sue, what's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, put it on there. Okay, so we need more mask apparitions. I need a couple more mask apparitions. No biggie. No biggie. We'll get it. We'll get it. Are these trick-or-treaters or mask apparitions? These are trick-or-treaters. I don't want trick-or-treaters. I want the mask apparition ones. I guess they do spawn here, so I guess I could kill them. I reached CR 230 today. Grats! Awesome! Congratulations. I don't give a shit about the little trick-or-treater ones. I want the ones... There's like another spawned one that has like mask apparitions. Right there, right there. Shit, there it is. I only need like 4 more or some shit. 6 more. Well, I'm glad you reached 230. Congratulations. I'm only 193 on this tune. But like I said, I mean, you know, it's been a minute since I've been on the game or whatever. Just keep driving up and down the block, waiting for respawn. Aha. Oh yeah, these are the masks. No, these are the friggin' trick-or-treaters. Look at them on the ground. But I'll just be here just to kill the friggin' masks. Shit. There's what, 3? Okay, 3 more. 3 more and we're done. I don't give a shit about the little trick-or-treaters. I already got all that. I want that bat ore. I'm not gonna lie. I probably want 2 of those bitches. Oh, blah, 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 blah. There it is. Bionic gear. 4 spooky bites.
Alice tracked the mystical signature of her stolen powers to a goth club called, get this, the Midnight Masquerade.
No, that's right.
Sounds like an angsty good time, right? I've added the location to your on duty tab. Queue up when you're ready. Tala will meet you inside.
So you don't get any more. It's usually like 10. You can get 10 a day, but there's the mission to queue it up for tomorrow. Whatever. And that's about it, man. That's as simple as the event goes. You can earn like 10 a day. It's pretty friggin' cake. Then when I go into currency, you do not share them across the board, I do believe. I believe everyone is separate. I don't believe they stack. They're like marks of victory and all that shit. So I got 10. So, you know, it's going to take quite a bit. It's like 20 days of the event to get, what it was, 100 or 200? I wanted to say it was, 200. So that's 20 days. 20 days. Every day. I mean, and it doesn't take much. But if you're not going to hit any replay tokens, I mean, you have 31 days to do it. You know, I believe there's, 31 days in this month. So you got 31 days to lock it down. So you can miss a few days here and there. Everything else, though, oof. And that's the hardest part, man. Trying to figure out what the hell do I want. See everybody back here. Oh, shit. Wrong room. Look at them all. Everybody's crowding it.
My stolen apparition
Talia.
still prancing
Tala.
about the city in those
It's Tala.
risks. Go now and send those spirits back to hell.
Send them back to hell.
That insect will
So it's 100 actually. So that's 10 days. 10 days I'd have this bitch. Yeah, that's badass. Everything else pretty reasonable. Haunted pipe organ. That's kind of cool. I remember I had quantum. I changed to ice. Oh, did you? Yeah, it's probably the last time I did see ya. Gotta get this type of stuff too. All that stuff. So what I usually do here now, since I've already done it on this tune, this is when I make my switches. But so I got to go on my vault first. So I'll hit my vault up, and then I'll log on another tune, and I can literally spend about an hour and something on a ton of tunes just doing this type of shit. I'll just bank up the fucking spooky bites, man. In about like 15 days, I go shopping. Like, I'll stack up a ton. I never, like, buy until I just, like, I mass out. Oh, look, they changed the wrapping paper for this. Holy shit. Yeah, they did. They put jack-o'-lantern wrapping paper on the gifts, man. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hey, man, that's kind of festive. Look, they even got jack-o'-lantern orange and all this shit. Hell yeah, they changed up the vault for the event. Now, I think you can earn, like, a couple of things in the vault for the event. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there is a chance of you, like, earning shit. I think that's it. That's it. And then there's the new shit. And okay. Then we have all these candy bars and stuff that you're in candy. Yeah, the Halloween event's up, man. Yeah, right now. October 1st, man, Halloween event. It is ready. I haven't logged in like 5 hours. Yeah, Halloween event's going on right now. So I just got my shit. Okay, so I'm switching characters. Blam! Boom! Bada bing, bada boom. I'll do that one in a minute. But we're going to go through it. I'll be going down like a list of my shit. I won't do every tune. But best believe I'll be doing enough to get my shit that I want. This is where alts pay off. This is where having alts pay off. Okay. So. We're going to do the little whatever shit first. This time.
Now this is a real treat. I'm getting reports of some masked apparitions raising hell all over Gotham and terrorizing the trick-or-treaters. Why didn't we think of that? The sorceress Tala is waiting for you at the tap room in Burnley.
I think you can go here.
I hear she's got one hell of a temper.
And you can buy spooky bits now. Look at that. They're selling them directly. And I think I'm like way out there with this tune. I'm not sure. Burr, I need to look. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I can't wait. I'm just pumped. It's been like 3 years since I've done this. This is the first time in 3 years I've done this event. Or no. Yeah, like 3 years. So this, like, I came back just now. Prior to this, I didn't even have. So. Yeah, he's a Metropolis.
Sun,
Should have realized that.
day, and night. And special someone.
And that special someone.
Just go together. You know it's right. That's when it's time to head to the Diamond District. Our merchants have the best selection of jewelry you'll find anywhere for the most reasonable prices. Metropolis's Diamond District. A jewel in the heart of the city.
Man, that is some corny ass infomercial shit. I hear it. No, there it is. I'm about to say, man, I do need to come down around here sometime and do these.
Temptation cannot be destroyed, but it can be managed.
Let's go, let's go. We're going back to Gotham. 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 All right, so it's North Burley, I wanted to say. I think that's where she's at. Yes. I'm here, Tala.
You may have known.
I'm here for the spooky bits.
From the underworld are terrorizing the city. That was supposed to be my plan. Someone has stolen some of my power and unleashed the chaos before it was ready.
Totally understand. I got it. I got it. I'll kill them. I'll kill all the little trick-or-treaters and... I mean, torture them. Torture them. How can good people even do this, man? This reeks of evil. Torturing trick-or-treaters and... They're probably trying to save it. This is where I want PvP to be a little bit more in this game. Where like, oh look, there's evil people like torturing trick-or-treaters. Save them. I love the Halloween event. Nah, man, the Halloween event's badass. And we get a month. No other, like, most MMOs don't get that, man. Love this shit. It's like all I do them every day, like I used to anyways. I used to do this shit every day, man, every fucking day. And I would say, and about towards the end of the month before the event fucking gave up, I'd fucking go get cash in, and we get a month, we get a whole month. No other MMO can brag that. No other MMO say, you know, how long's your event for? A week? How long's yours for? 2 weeks? How long's yours, DCUO? A fucking month. Get that little trick-or-treater. Get it. Everybody's in this bitch. Everybody's here. Like, there'll be tons of people, man. You want to do it in mornings, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't wait till the afternoon. It sucks in the afternoon. Man, doing it in the afternoon, you might as well just get there and just stand on a place till respawn. It's crazy. Yeah, get... I hate... Nope. Yep. Put it there. Put it there. Yeah. Drop it on that trick-or-treater's head. And there's one usually right around this corner. They're all throughout Gotham. There's like little areas, but this one's the most popular because it's by the base. So everybody comes around here. Everybody's like, oh, hey, look. No, 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 no. Get... Well, it's kind of cool that you guys want to do it like this, but we have to, like... Our job is to, like... It's a Resurgence Mega Capsule. Hi, I'm helping you. Move. It burns! It burns! Get some fucking cream for that shit. They're so lazy, and they use the website to create an entirely new paragraph that isn't even in their own words. Who? Fucking DC? Is it DC? Who did it, Jack? Oh yeah. Halloween event is here. I need 3 more. 3 more apparitions. This is it. Boy, these apparitions are resilient. No, read the previous message. I love the Halloween event. Or they're so lazy. Or is it from Noopsu? I'm trying to read the previous entire new paragraph. It's they, but I'm trying to figure out like... Get this.
Midnight Masquerade. Sounds like an angsty bit, right? I've added the location to your
and they use the website to create an entirely new paragraph that isn't even in their own words. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, says no, read the previous message.
This is Amanda Waller. You have been recruited for a Suicide Squad mission. You'll be working with members of Task Force X until the operation is complete.
Phantom Stranger.
Is not an option.
I will conjure crystals that can sever our foe's connection to the Dark Veil. You'll need to place them in a pentacle as they become ready.
I like Tala's thing better.
So, Tico, are you enjoying the party?
Are you enjoying the party?
We'll
teach the rude people of Gotham not to make fun of us on Halloween. I am not an emo pilgrim. I'm a witch boy.
I'm a witch boy.
Tapped into Black Adam's powers of Shazam.
Of Shazam.
Behold the power of Shazam.
First crystals are ready to be placed.
Some people like to throw them. I do not.
Come closer and feel the strength of
Oh,
Hercules.
right here. Sometimes it's over there.
Fine. We'll try some new. Tricks wouldn't be nearly as fun without the powers of Tara, Mistress of Hell.
Maybe we can lend you a hand. The Sentinels of Magic have conjured up a charm that will banish those masked apparitions. I'm teleporting the magical magnet in now.
He's getting it.
Full, you'll need to release the apparitions into the spectral retention chamber. We'll be sending it in shortly.
For another trick, I summon thee, my masked minions.
You beat the shit out of Pilgrim Boy.
Your poor choices forced the Lords of Order to act. Countless innocents were harmed because of your
Countless.
careless temper.
Countless innocents.
Crave respect, but your actions do not secure it. I've channeled your dark magic into an augment for good, and have bestowed a portion of it upon these heroes. Now, be gone from here.
Who are you to lecture me, phantom stranger? I thought you weren't supposed to interfere with us mortals. I won't forgive you for ruining my Halloween.
Oh.
Teenage angst. Who'd have thought that a little blue brat and his kitty cat could wreak so much havoc?
In his kitty cat.
In the society. That is, if Cheetah's willing to share her litter box.
Yum, 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 yum. Spooky Bite C10. 10 per day. 10 per day. You can get. And it can be yours. It can all be yours. So simple. Just to jump on tunes and just jump around collecting Spooky Bites. I'm out buying some Spooky Bites. And collect it and whatever else have you. Okay. So, we just got that one done. That means we park this dude and we go get another one. Once we get all these unlocked, then we go shopping. Well, I go shopping probably about 15, 18 days in. On all my tunes. Get whatever I need, whatever I'm trying to get for feats or whatever else have you. And then I finish up the rest of the month with the necessities. So my little, it goes like, I make a wish list, and then I say, okay, I want this, I want that, I want at least this, this, and that. And then I say, okay. And I do it on multiple tunes. This way I make sure I get everything I want on my list. Because there's a lot, man. There's a lot. So guess what we do? We switch tunes again. Oh, shit. I didn't do my my vault. Oh, well. We'll get it in a little bit later or something. Now we get on this tune. They're so lazy, and they use the website to create an entirely new paragraph that isn't even in their own words. Okay, Jack, you've said that twice. Who? They are. It would indicate somebody. Who? I'm wanting to know. Okay, now my shit is whatever. So we got to come over here. I think we're good. Yeah, 22 days. What? Oh, there it is. All right, time for switch out. Boom, 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 Batman. Okay, now we go to the witching hour. Blah blah blah.
Now this is a real treat.
I can get like so many of these things done, man. It's just like, wow. I have like a lot of tunes, but I'll probably only do it like probably on 6 or 7 tunes. I'm reading everything you've said, Jack. If you scroll up, I'm reading everything you said. I'm even scrolling up. I love the Halloween event. They're so lazy, and they use the website to create an entirely new paragraph that isn't even in their own words. No, read the previous message. They're so lazy, and they use the website to create an entirely new paragraph that isn't even in their own words. I typed something before that. You're not reading it. I'm reading everything you said. I've got everything read. And that's exactly how you read it. Like it's on the live feed too. Like you can even put it, you like scroll it up and you can, see that I'm reading exactly everything you've written. I'm asking who. Must not be appearing for me. It's not appearing at all. If you linked anything, it won't. If you can't link any website. You can. It will. If you're linking a site, it will not post it, and that's why I'm not seeing it. You can't link anything. You can't type out anything that's a website address. It won't put it in. You actually have to say it like this site or this company for me to see it. And then I have to Google it. Because it will not allow any web addresses or links to be posted. Google totally doesn't allow it to happen. So if you're linking anything, it won't post. If you're typing it in like www. whatever, it won't post. That's not me, it's Google. Or, YouTube. Google owns YouTube. But they won't. Talking about some of the students from my college. Oh, are you? So let me guess. So they basically did like an assignment. They used online web to do their assignment. As soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, they're doing something to use their own assignment. Yeah, that sucks. And let me guess, they got credit for it, right? They still got the credit. Morning, Cal. I need coffee. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking my iced coffee. I probably need to make more. So, yep, I got the iced coffee right here. Enjoying it. Halloween events up on DCUO. So I'm doing multiple tunes. I'm having a blast with that because they got the Bat Aura out. you know, and stuff like that. It uses all the information they put in, and it generates sentences and paragraphs. Oh my God, really? My thing about it is, okay, so I'm pretty decent at math, right? I'm decent. I took up to trig. So if people ask me what, you know, how good at math, you know, I took up to trigonometry. So I had trig at one time. So I'm pretty decent at math. I'm decent. I mean, I'm not like this mathematician or anything, but like my kids asked me for help. And this is just an example. They asked me for help, and I'll do what I can, and it comes up with the answer, and they got the right answer. But the work, the way they designed the math work, these days, I fucking hate it. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one back there. Isn't there one back there? I thought there was. Dude's got streak. Just excited about getting the headless chest. Oh my God, I just saw that thing. It's so fucking awesome. Cal, I'll tell you what. I'll show you this after I'm done here. You'll be like, oh my God, it's badass. But yeah, but my kids, they'll always be like, Dad, can you help me with my homework? And I'll get the right answer. I will. But guess what? It's not right. It's wrong because of the way it's done out. Now my kids also get to do all these really easy things like, oh, you know, we can use calculators and we can use that and I'm like, okay, so they make you do everything in long format, but you can use calculators. Makes complete fucking sense to me, man. It makes complete fucking sense. I'm like, they're like, well, and I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense. This doesn't even make sense. We weren't even allowed to use calculators. My one teacher. So here's the deal. Like I took accounting, right? Took 3 years of accounting. And by the second year, I got really tired of having to do manual ledgers and shit. We had computers and stuff. And I bring that up to my teacher. I'm like, you know, I don't get this, that we're still doing manual ledgers when everything's in the system. And my teacher was like, well, here's the problem. If you don't know how to do it, can you keep that thing off me so I can get this? Dude, kill. I'm not going to get it. Fuck yeah. He must just need the other ones. Oh no. There's so many people. Oh no. There's so many people. I'll show you this headless chest though. But yeah, my accounting teacher was like, if you don't know how to do the work, so if you don't know how to do the work yourself, no program is going to help you understand any mistakes that occur. That was the whole point. Like that was the whole point of my, dude, are you talking about common math? That shit is, yeah, it's common math. Like long format. Like, you know, you have to come out. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'll come out with like, it's not common. It's what is it? Long form? Not long form. Fuck. It's where they have to like come out with all of these different like equations and proof their math by backwards shit. I'm like, okay, I mean, I get the principle, like it's a check system. I get it, but why? And if you don't do it in a sequence or an order, it's wrong. And I'm like, this makes no fucking sense to me. So we have the base, the common formula, right? So you know, the original formula to extrapolate the equation or the answer or whatever have you. So it's like, you know, okay, so we're going to do parentheses first. We're going to take, you know, da 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 da. We're going to take any other variables that would be, you know, to calculate the missing variable, and then we're going to calculate the answer or the new equate or complete the equation. So I mean, whatever else have you. So, God, these fucking polls, man. All right, come here. But yeah, it's stupid, man. I was like, this is... And my friend, he's... I have a friend who's a math teacher and one who's a math professor. And then my uncle was a mathematician for a major university. And I told my friend, I was like, I don't even know, man. This is just dumb, man. Like, who came up with... He's like, well, we're required to teach it that way. And I'm like, when did... Like, my kids were... Like, seriously? So my... youngest last year was in 8th grade, and this was crazy for me. So she's an 8th grader, and she brings home basic trig, not complex trig, but basic. And still to see it at 8th grade level, I was like, what are you doing with this math? And she's like, it's my math assignment. I'm like, you're aware this is common trig. This is like common trigonometry. And she was like, no. And I was like, why are they giving you guys trigonometry in 8th grade? It just mind blows me, man. Like, they're teaching it. I didn't have trig until my junior year or some shit. Like, I had my algebra classes, I had my trig, and of course I had to take geometry. Like, prior, that was one of the requirements prior to trig. So it was my algebra and my geometry prior to my trigonometry. Which I took my junior year, and then my senior year I forget. Like I went with like something else. I think I went like with like a business math. Well, I took business math, but there was something else I went with. But anyways, man. I mean, regardless, I was just like, wow, these kids, man. These kids are on like some other type shit. And I'm not really that, I mean, I'm okay at math. I'm not really, like, all that good. I'm okay. And, you know, hey. Most of the common stuff I can get done. Like, my uncle, like, was showing me some other shit that, like, he was trying to, like, get me into. And I was like, no, fuck that. That's where you got me twisted. I am not spending long, daunting times trying to figure out fucking these formulas because you think it's fun. No, I'm good. I am fucking good on that. Some of it, maybe I'm like, you're looking at it, you're like, blah. Hell, fucking, what gets me on my nerve is like representations for different math. You know, that's the whole thing I always tell my kids. They're like, well, I don't understand that. I'm like, do you understand the representation of whatever? And I tell my kids, if you can understand the representation, at least better. I'm like, because that's, for most people, that's the hard part. That once you figure a lot of that out, most of it goes back to the common aspects of fundamental math. But you have to understand representation. Like chemistry, like when you're taking a look at my daughter's in chemistry, and when you take a look at the principles, like I took physics, so I understand like, you know, the periodic table and stuff, and scientific equation math, but the simple fact of it is representation for that is different from, let's say, a calculus aspect. Because we have elemental properties being inserted, and all of that has to be equated from periodic table and broken into the elements of each compound. So I'm like, so you have to understand all that first before you can, come up with the equation. So it's like, it's fucking nuts, man. Man, they put these kids through some crazy shit, like crazy shit. I'm like, man, I'm good. No. I would have never taken chemistry. Let's put it that way. When my daughter wanted to take chemistry this year, I was like, no. She's like, did you take chemistry? I'm like, no, man. I studied physics. I didn't. Like, I'm not going in for chemistry. And they're like, she's like, why? And I'm like, because, you know, I'm not in on that at all. She's doing okay. She's kind of like, you know, bouncing up and down, you know, between a lot of the assignments, because most of her classwork, you know, her assignments inside. My youngest daughter, she doesn't want to do anything. My middle daughter is more into like scientific and math aspects, and my youngest one likes some math, but she's definitely more on the tech and nerdy side, as far as like, you know, software, hardware, things like that. She's wanting to learn more about computers, so and multiple features, but I'll bring out my other Boo Jr. You did biology? I didn't take biology either. I'll be honest. I didn't take biology. Like when we were signing up for classes, I had to take. There was one class I had to take prior to physics, and I took general. I took general science my freshman year, and then I took in college. I think I didn't even take a science class or something. I didn't think I had to in college, if I remember it. Maybe I did. It's been a while. But in high school, man, I stuck with general science, something else prior to physical, and I only needed 3 years at the time. And now I think they need 4. So I only took 3 years of science. I was like, fuck you guys. Physics was everything I wanted to take. Anything else, I had to learn something. There was something else prior to that was like that had to do with the periodic tables and it was like a prereq to physics. And I forget what it was called. But that's where I learned like periodic tables and base equations and shit. And then when you get into physics, it's all like, you know, about the different aspects of physics. Like, there was all like, there was a couple different aspects to physics. And then you're just studying all that. Then you, of course, you learn about Einstein, you know, the theory of relativity and, you know, all this other shit. And theoretical physics, proven physics. All that shit. Good, your daughter likes math with science. Lots of equations in science. My daughter likes science and hates math. Keeps trying to tell her if she wants to be serious about science, she needs math. Right, absolutely. 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 I don't know if my daughter actually likes math, but she understands the importance behind the math. And for her, it like you said, it correlates. You got to have the math behind it. But that's another thing too. Is like she takes chemistry, and the first thing I always told her, I'm like, now, okay, remember that your chemical equations. Like I took a lot of business math type stuff, and when they switched my shit to calculus, beginning of my sophomore year, beginning of my freshman year, I think I had to have algebra 2 for my prerequisites. And I was pissed, like, that they switched it up to calculus. I'm like, there's not a formula in fucking calculus I need. None. And they're like, oh, well, Mr. Ford, you know, it says right here you're more than capable of doing it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what that piece of paper says. I don't give a fuck because they make you do these tests and shit. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Here's my thing. I don't want to fucking do it. How's that answer? How's that answer? I don't give a shit if I fucking can do it. I don't want to do it. So I always wanted to apply practical math to what I was into. And I was into business type things like accounting, economics, percent, like investment math types, all this type of shit, man. That's the type of math I wanted to deal with. I didn't want to deal with stupid shit that I didn't need to. And my daughter now, when she took chemistry and science, chemistry and what the fuck was the other one? Chemistry's her science class, and then she took something else. And I told her, keep in mind the different aspects of equations, or the principles behind the elements. I only did biology, and my friend did all three: chemistry, physics, and biology. See, I didn't take biology. I didn't take chemistry. Fuck that, I took physics. But I had to take, like, general science. General science was, like, a mandatory for every freshman. That if you were a freshman, you were taking general science. General science had, like, that whole, like, here's all the elements and practicality to science. So I was like, oh, okay, cool deal, whatever have you. And for me personally, it was just like, okay. And they're like, okay, what do you want to take? Are you going towards biology, or you're taking chemistry, or I'm taking physics. So I had to take another class prior to that, and then I took physics. And I only needed 3 years. Now I think they have to have 4 years. I want to say now they have to have 4 years. So I'm literally believing that it's like a 4-year science thing now in high school. I could be wrong, but my daughter, she wants the next year, her senior year, she's taking physics. And that was kind of interesting because I was like, okay, well, physics is a lot different than, your pre-calc. So pre-calc has different equations, and I'm like, but some of the configurations will benefit you, but honestly, whatever. I just can't believe they got these kids taking this stuff. Like, it's amazing to me. Like my nephew, he won 3-year. He had a 2-year math competition and won. And he competed against other schools in math, and he won twice. So my nephew was very nerdy. He won twice in math competitions. I personally would never think that's fun to compete for math. But hey, man, well, whatever. For my school, it was called senior science. Was it senior science? Yeah, she's taking. I didn't have math my senior year. I'm more than positive. And in my freshman year in college, I know I didn't take a math because I was so overloaded with business stuff. I took my algebra course, which, in high school, algebra is different, a little slightly different than college. So I took my algebra my freshman year for college, which I'm okay with until I get to percenting math, like when you have to take percentage and convert it to fractions, or fractions and convert it to or decimals, like whatever. I'm terrible. That's my flaw. Like, everybody will ask, like, what's your biggest problem in math? I'm like, fraction point something conversion math. I'm like, it's the bane of my existence. I'm good with integers. I'm good with, all these other aspects. We called it stats in high school. It's just like it sounds. Lots of statistical equations, laws of average. Yeah, definitely law of average was awesome. And practical math. Perfect for business studies. Right. I know all of that. Statistical equation, law of averages, and practical math. Right. Practical math is definitely, I definitely feel like practical math is reflective, obviously. It's just, it's proof, it's right there. It's in front of you. Everyday occurrences for practical math, Statistical equations, once again, I mean, when you take a look at statistical equations, you're trying to, form the what you're trying to get a statistical value on, So all that changes. And then the law of averages, it's called a law. So, and that's where you get into diminishing values. It's part of the law of averages and stuff like that. You'll break into diminishing values, things like that. I really enjoyed it. I love business math. Like literally, me and my kids were talking about this one day. And my kids were like, you know, Dad, didn't you like refuse to do homework at one time? I'm like, yes, this is true, and don't follow my example. So I had a class, my economics class. In my economics class, I did no homework. None. 0. And I kept getting zeros. And I kept getting zeros. And my teacher, my teacher was like, what are you doing, Mr. Ford? At this rate, you're going to fail. But we would have weekly exams, right? No, this was the first week. Second week is when we starting into our exams. So we'd have weekly exams. Now, keep in mind, I also had to do stock portfolio, which I passed anyways. So that made up a percentage of my value of my grade. And, of course, then my weekly exams made percentage of my grade. And then my finals made a percentage of my grade. So at this point, I knew I didn't even need to do any assignments. And I didn't. I refused to do any assignments. And he was like, everybody would be turning in their assignments, and I just suck up the zeros. But I pass every test with a flying 100%. 100%. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, okay, here's my argument. Why do you assign homework? He's like, so people can learn. And I'm like, and what's the point of me doing the homework if I already know it? And he's like, oh, he's like, you're still getting zeros. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Like, at this point, it's remedial for me. It's like, this is just whatever. I'm not wasting 20, 30 minutes of my time to fill in a piece of paper, you know, that you want in detail. Like, I find that, like, redundant. It's just pointless for me. So I'm not even bothering. So I will take those zeros. I will pass my test with 100%. Thank you. Goodbye. Same for me. My commerce class, I did nothing at all. I would hide somewhere in the class when did presentations. I came last. I didn't mind presentations or anything like that. I mean, I was cool with anything, like, you know. But when it come to like turning in like assignments, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb, man. You give assignments to teach people, and I get that, and I do, and I really did. And but for me personally, it was just like, I'm not. No. Y'all are crazy. I'm not gonna get all of these. This is the hardest part, getting these little trick-or-treaters. Die. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the way I look at it was like, you know, when it came to like business and economics and all that stuff, man, I'm like, what I think is funny is like Ivy schools, man. So a lot of Ivy schools will get like, you know, the top people of the percentage of whatever. But then you have the little rich bitches who get in, who are dumb as fuck, and the only thing they got is that little title behind them. And I'm like, you know, like I don't even take Ivy schools serious half the time in different fields, man. People are like, are you serious? I'm like, when it comes to like economics or financing, I honestly don't. I don't take them serious. Science, yeah. Medical, yeah. Why didn't they bump you or put you in advance, my friend? I know I was in advance. Like I did. I was in all the advanced classes for business. For business, I was in advance, all advanced type stuff for business. I took 3 years of accounting. Like, I didn't take accounting later on after 3 years. Because people thought I was going to be, like, my friend ended up being a CPA. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not fucking spending time doing tax work for shit like that. That wasn't something I was willing to do. I actually wanted to be, everything I wanted to do was towards economic investments and portfolios and stuff. But I didn't finalize my degree, and I ended up working in the market, and I ended up selling. Well, I would do anything from mutual funds, stocks. I had my series license, so I could do any type of investment. You know, you guys seem so smart. I feel most of my clients now. Yeah, I didn't like my senior year. Like, I always avoided like a lot of stuff. My senior year, somehow I stupid into a fucking the honor roll. I don't even know how I did it. I was just like, I'll be honest, I was high as a fucking kite most of the time. I hated it too. Someone's like, dude, did you see that you made the honor roll this semester? I'm like, what? Are you fucking serious? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I got a fucking reputation to protect. You know, they can't fucking think I'm smart. That would be fucking sucky. Expectations will be set and everything. You can't do that. No, I don't want to join your group. I'll follow you around, though. That's cool. I only need 2 mask apparition. So, nah, man. Because, you know, I had the bad boy attitude, right? Or, like, whatever. And it was very important to me to maintain that. I had to maintain that image of the bad boy. So, if it ever came out, whatever. So, I always just kind of whatever. Most of the time, try to wing it. And I wasn't, like, there's a lot of things, like English. English was my poorest subject. English, I was really bad at English. History, I was okay. I mean, I would get like a C or a B in history, depending on the type of history. My favorite history was ancient history. Like, anything that had to do with, like, cultures, like the Roman culture, the Greek culture, Egyptian culture. Like, we covered different types of culture in ancient history. Not so much what we knew as evidence from a historical standpoint, but the evidence left from archaeologists, from, you know, that the way the culture lived and the evidence that supported that. And I really liked that. That was probably the funnest class I had for history. You know, and then Greek mythology. Greek mythology was cool. That was a really cool one. That was a cool class. I took that in college, I think. Really liked it. I thought it was really badass. So there was like, but when it came to like American history, I didn't fare so well. You know, I was like, I just wanted to like cry. My favorite was ancient history too. Yeah, ancient history is badass, man. And depending on the on who's teaching it, it is just badass. There's a lot you can learn in just the way the culture was. Someone getting that other one? No, maybe not. I got it. Whatever. I love Pompeii and the Mount Vesuvius. Yeah, no, that was shit. That was good shit. I also like. There was a couple of things. It's been so long. When we had to read, like, the fucking the book. It's off the top of my head. It's just right on the tip of my tongue too. Like, there was a lot of stuff. And also Greek philosophers. There was like so many fucking Greek philosophers, man. And it was funny how like a lot of the Roman culture imitated or emulated the Greeks. History is my jam. Always been fascinated by cryptic zoology, but come on, there's no real future in that. Right. Now, see, that stuff I never got into, man. Like, that type of stuff, that sounds cool, though. That even sounds cool, and I never got into anything like that. That sounds badass. So, and that's one thing I feel like is really cool, though. There are different aspects to history and to science and all of this. Like, my daughter, like, she loves science, but I told her, I'm like, if you're going to do anything in science, you better have practicality. So, because one thing that I did when I was young was study the like anything that had to do with whatever. And at one time there was calculations and whatever that we all like was finding that was very relevant. Like 70% of college graduates were in unrelated field of fucking study. 70%. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Because at this point, you're like, I felt it was a crime for universities. You're not educating your students to take proper like degrees. Like what? You're going to have somebody graduate college with an arts degree? What the fuck are they going to work in? But yet our society deems that, hey, as long as you jump through these hoops, you should be making X amount of dollars, even though you didn't take a practical education. And it's like, wow. Like medical is probably one of the most reliable type education. You know, anything in like business or medical. And I tell my kids that. I'm like, man, you better get something business or medical. And my daughter wanted science, and I'm like, that's fine, but you better understand what you're trying to do in the field. So she keeps changing her mind, but ideally she wants to do chemical engineering. She wants to work not like crazy chemical engineering. So let me explain. My daughter either wants to pursue, because I've stressed medical, because a couple of my family are in the medical field, which is fine. But she either wanted to do something with chiropractic, which I'm like, okay. And then, I mean, good money. I'm not saying anything. I got a friend who's a chiropractor. I'm not saying anything bad about it, you know, whatever. I'm just like, really? Or she wants to work for a food company with doing chemical engineering as finding different aspects of flavors and stuff like that on a chemical level, you know, of like adding, you know, different food compounds and stuff. But you need like chemical engineering and shit for that, you know. And it's like, that's cool. Like I'd rather have her do that personally. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. Like she wanted to do like work for food companies and like, you know, do all these little flavor things and stuff. That'd be cool. That's how it is where I live. They don't care what degree you have, just as long as you have a degree. You have an art degree, please run our business. I know, it's stupid. It's stupid. I dropped out of college my beginning of my sophomore year. Now, college, at the time I was in college, like I took some of my business courses, and then the other time I was like really still fucking like trying to get sober and everything. So I was like, whatever. I met my friend's mother. Now, I already had got my ACT done, had everything, all that shit done. And she was like, when she met me, she had worked for Travelers. So she was like, you know, hey, yeah, I work for Travelers. I'm like, oh, cool deal. You know, and in Travelers is weird because Travelers owns Citibank. It's also the insurance company and everything like that. So City Financial, Citibank, and Travelers Insurance. So it makes up Travelers. Travelers owns a lot of different things, aspects to the business. And she worked for Travelers and literally said, why are you going to college? I'm like, I want to go in for financing and economics. I have a major in I'm going for a major in economics and a minor in financing. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, honestly, I want to work in, you know, in that field. Regardless of how useless a certain degree is, students are still given the freedom of choice to choose to study whatever they can potentially fulfill their dreams. I understand that, but here's the thing. If you get a fucking degree in art and I have a business, right? And there's two people going up for a job. Two people, right? I'm not saying the person with an art isn't capable of doing the job. Here's my deal. Now, let's put three in front of them. So I have a one with an arts degree, one with a business degree, and one with no degree. Right? Now, if I have to look at the 2 degrees, If that is my goal, if I have to go just on that principle alone, the person with the art degree isn't getting the fucking job. It's not. I have a person here with a business degree. Now that trumps you. From a degree standpoint, if we're going head to head on degrees, I'm sorry, I don't want a person with an art degree. I want somebody to run my business. Now, that's not to say that the person with the business degree is good or the art person can do any better. There's a lot of different variables that go into a position. But you want people with experience. Now, the person with no degree here. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting because this kind of relates back to my story. So I was recruited. Now, I was the youngest hired in the district at the time for the company because I was recruited. I was literally found by somebody who worked for the company. And they were like, you need to drop out of college right now. And I'm like, I can't do that. I need a future. And they're like, you have a future. You have to pass your states anyways. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't have the title of financial advisor. And they're like, do you want the fucking title of financial advisor? What does a financial advisor have that you won't be able to do? Because you'll be able to sell stock, you'll be able to work with annuities, and you'll be able to do all insurance by the time you're done with all your boards. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, proof is in the pudding. You know? It doesn't matter what a title is. At the end of the day, who gets results? I'm like, that's true. Very true. At the end of the day, you either know your shit or you don't. So I got recruited. And then I worked for another company where I did credit card type stuff, right? So I would, refinancings and refis and stuff. And at the time, I had the title of equity specialist when I worked at the bank. So when I worked at a bank, I was a loan officer, but I was a mortgage specialist. So I worked at a bank, no college degree, none, zero, right? I have 0 degree, but I have a shitload of experience and I was one of the best. So it was like, yeah, I was young, but hey, man, I'm one of the best. I know my shit. And that's why I got recruited so early. So I didn't even have a degree, but I had experience. I was building experience and I knew my shit. The person with the art degree can still get the job depending on the role in the business and if the selection criteria requires that degree, if it requires it. But the problem of it is we have degrees that are just misplaced. That's my problem with liberal education. I don't like liberal education. I would rather have somebody who has experience. I think of apprenticeship. And this was the one thing why I wanted to start a business at one time in the video game development. I have very little experience in coding, but I can read code. But at the same time, I have a lot of experience testing and I have business background. Now, here's the deal, man. So I have no college degree. I have college education, but not a degree. So the point of it was this. If I want to put people in intern programs. We have now trade schools that are working in development, in CAD. And putting these people and giving them the firsthand experience is way more than what a liberal education will give them. A liberal education is like a jack of all trades, master of none. And it's like, to me, that's a waste, man. Apprenticeship is where it's at. When you look at trade people, they got the most job security in any other field. Why? Because it's a trade. Like, my friend's a welder. I know nothing about welding. Neither do a lot of people. So his job security is very, very profound. He has a lot more job security because he has a trade. And that's what I keep trying to tell people these days. Liberal education is failing us. It's failing us. Unless you're a doctor who needs that. And I mean, think about that. Because you also have, when you're going through your med school, right? You have to take, it's off the top of my head, your intern. It's like an intern, but you got to practice the medicine while you're still there in college. So you're being like overseen. Like my brother had to go into like so many surgeries. He had to be there for heart surgery, something else, like all these different type of surgeries he had to be present for, right? So, and same thing with my sister-in-law and my cousin. And to me, it was like, that's relative. That's where education is very important, but you want the experience. You have experience. Experience means something. And a person with the art degree, if I'm sitting in front of all three, first thing I'm going to look at is who has the most experience. What's their knowledge in the background? And the person with the art degree is going to lose unless they can prove that they have more to offer than a person with a business degree. Or that person who has no degree but has experience. Because experience in the field, I don't give a shit who's got what. Who can get the job done. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your paper. I don't give a fuck about your paper. Which one of you guys here are hungry? Which one of you guys are going to pursue this? And education system, it needs help. It needs fucking help. It's a fucking, it's a business. Because at the end of the day, that's all that it is. It's a fucking business. They don't give a shit what you major in. They want their fucking money. My cousin was the best at that. He's like, he worked for the university. He was a main math professor for a university. He's like, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit how many of my students fail or pass my class. Only thing I give a shit is how many's attending my class. That's where my job security and my money becomes very important. Damn right. Damn fucking right, it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's what it is. It's a business. How do you think they're paying professors? Why do you think? Like literally, in the state of Ohio, they changed something where they're pushing teachers to go for a master's degree. My friend was going to be a teacher, high school teacher. And once he got that notification, he was like, fuck you. Changed up a few classes, and now he's an assistant professor at a university. And he's like, there's no way I'm going to be going for a master's degree being a high school teacher. Y'all can kiss my fucking ass. Because if I'm going for a master's, I'll work at a university and double up my money. And it makes sense. It makes sense, man. Education is trying to fucking get the most money. And it's like, fucking stop this bullshit. You're failing us. You're failing us. The higher education is starting to fail its community. And it better get some shit on track. It better start taking a look at its students and actually applying these numbers and inputting it. Because I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's a crime to let a person, like my friend, listen, my friend has a degree, a bachelor's degree in chemistry or something like that. I think it's chemistry. And guess where he works? A fucking factory. Is it dealing with anything with chemicals? No, he's a fucking line person. It's like, that's a fucking crime, man. That's some false ass fucking hope. That is some fucking false ass hope. Dream my fucking ass. There was nothing around here for him to pursue. There's nothing in the field. Now, there is like something, and it's whatever. But he works at a factory. He has a bachelor's degree. It's like fucking, and then I'm not even getting into it. I feel like that's the most injustice. And I'll be damned. I told somebody, I'm like, anytime I was a boss, when somebody walked in with a degree and they thought they were entitled to a position because they had a degree, I'm like, you can get the fuck out of my office. And they were like, excuse me? And I'm like, you see that person out there with no degree? I'm hiring him. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because he's got the one thing you don't have. I'm like, he's ambitious. How is this game enjoyable? This game? Oh, I'm just fucking off. That's event. I'm not doing anything major. I'm just doing the events. So if you're asking how it's enjoyable based on events, well, you really can't go off of that. B-dog. But, yeah, I would never hire somebody who thinks they're entitled because they jump through hoops. Never. I want performance, man. At the end of the day, who has the most ambition? Who's going to get the job done? Who has the most? What are you bringing to the table, and why? 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 Out of everybody, should you have a job here? Why? You tell me. You better have a damn good answer, man. You know?
Someone has stolen some of my power and unleashed the chaos before
That's what I'm always telling people. I'm like, you better have something.
where they will suffer.
It's a dog eat dog world out there, man. You better know what you're getting into. And then we got people who's got money who'll never have to fucking work a day in their life, have to get an education, and those motherfuckers are hiring the people with the education. Let me tell you something. The rich only do one thing: exploit the labors of the strong. Just because a person has a degree, it doesn't mean they're not ambitious or hardworking. No. It's not what I'm saying. It's not. What I'm trying to say is, if somebody comes in an interview and they just think they've locked it down because of their degree, most likely it's not going to secure their fucking job. It's not to say I'm against people with a degree. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if what I'm taking is who's here, who's hungry, who's hungry. At the end of the day, I can teach anybody anything. Every experience is everything, everything. Surgeons, right? You got two people walking in medical school, right? And they both want to be surgeons, right? And I'll tell you what, the person who's done the most assisting, right? Who's assisted with the most surgeries, I've got to hire one of them to be a surgeon. The person who's assisted in the most surgeries while they're in medical school, and who's, have more, whatever under whatever other surgeon, yeah, that's who I want. That's who I want. They got more experience. That's less liability. And I'm a factual type of person. When that's what made me good in my business, because it's all about liability, right? It's all about, reaping the most out of what you got or what you can get. Experience is everything. That's why I said fucking the education system's failing, man. It's fucking failing. It's a fucking failed project. It's a fucking failed project that just squeezes money out of its students. And I feel bad, man, because I actually feel really bad for a lot of students these days, man. And I told my nephew's going in for a veterinarian. I looked at straight up my nephews. Two of my nephews are in college right now. And their dad has a degree. He's a nurse. Their dad's a nurse. And I told my nephews straight up, I'm like, and so their dad verified it, because he's not even a nurse. He doesn't do nursing anymore. He doesn't. He's in marketing. And I tell him, I look straight, and you wouldn't think he'd be in marketing. He didn't go to college for marketing. He got into marketing. And this is what their dad said. Their dad's like, I didn't even go to college for marketing. I went to college for medical. I'm a nurse. And he is. He's a fucking nurse. Does he do nursing? Nope, absolutely not. No, he doesn't. He's a marketing. And he's like, but I have experience in marketing because prior to me going to college, or while I was in college, I worked in the field, and that allowed me to get experience. And now the dude makes 6 fucking figures. Not as a fucking nurse. No. And education? The education didn't help him get the position. Nope, experience landed it. So yeah, experience rules fucking all. It's every day, man. Like, you ever see these kids, these prodigies, who never go to college, and they can out-program adults who spent 5-6 years learning how to program, and you got little kids that are 14, 15 years old hacking fucking NASA and shit? Come on, man. Come on. You're telling me you want to take up on that? Fuck. I would hire that kid in a heartbeat. I would hire that little kid in a fucking heartbeat and try to keep his ass out of trouble. They're prodigies. They are the exception.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for subscribing. They are the exception. Fucking you're gonna tell a little 14-year-old how to do something that an adult couldn't do? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Experience is everything. Everything. Education's failing us. They're fucking too liberal. Too fucking liberal. Get them in apprenticeship programs and put them with the best. You want the best results? I want the best results. For a company, if I'm running a company, I want the best. Every day. That's what I want. I expect nothing less. And I only want play. What is this new Halloween event? Yeah, the Halloween event just started today, Joseph. So I've been doing it to get my spooky bites. All right. But yeah, no, I honestly, it's about, like, a person can have the best education, and if they're lacking the ambition, and they lack, like my one cousin ended up getting a degree in nursing and didn't end up being a nurse because they found out, like, they went for the wrong reasons. They went for nursing for the money, and they didn't have the ambition to do it. They really didn't. They just wanted to secure their, their future, and figured, oh, I'll go into nursing, and got a degree and whatever. And I was like, that's sad as fuck. I'm like, why would you take something you knew you weren't going, because the money was good? That doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. What are the missions so far? I'm new to DCUO. When I'm done with school, I'm going to start doing my missions. When you go in, you'll talk to Talia. So you've got to kill mask apparitions, and then you have to do like the trick-or-treaters. It'll be like little pillars of light that come up. I'll show you here. So I'm just running up and down the street trying to wait for the respawns and stuff. But there'll be a little pillar of light that comes up on spawn points. And what you do is you do 2 parts of the mission, then you go do the instance. And once you do the instance, then you'll get 10 spooky bites per day. So you can earn up to about 10 spooky bites per day on each tune. And you can do it on multiple tunes. So, but you don't share. Every one of your tunes doesn't share share the spooky bites. It's only per. So I got 4 for doing this mission. And then I come over here and I'll do the event. And I'll do the Midnight Masquerade event. An angsty good time. Like, I think education's good. We need education. People need to be educated. So, and I believe in education in certain aspects that, hey. But when you get to a certain point, liberal education doesn't do anybody good. It doesn't. It's bad. It's like, there's no direction, no guidance into a, hey, what are you proficient at? What should you be focusing on? And how can we get you there? And what are you wanting to do? What's your goals? What's the practicality behind it? And I feel that's what college should be addressing. Like, your counselors and stuff, they should be doing that. What do spooky bites give you? When I'll show you, because I wanted to show Kel this this headless thing. I forgot to do that last time. You got vendors, like event vendor.
Are you enjoying the party?
It's like a soda can dispensary.
We'll teach the rude people of Gotham not to make fun of us on Halloween.
There's a new ore. There's the bat ore. There's a headless chest.
Do you not know who you are dealing with?
Zatanna's magic will entertain you. Presto Chango.
Give me out of my way, pumpkin. Look at the graphics on that pumpkin. People can't tell me these graphics suck. I have heroes and villains. I'm mainly villain, though. I mainly play villain. Go. Go, 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 go. Oh, God.
Be nearly as fun without the powers of Tala, the mistress of air.
Encouraged some folks from the magic Wing to give us a hand. They've conjured up a charm that will banish those annoying masked apparitions. I'm teleporting in now. When the charm is full, you'll need to release the apparitions into the spectral retention chamber. I'll be sending that in shortly.
No, these are event missions. Event missions go for both.
Get them, Teagle.
Hey, get. Never mind. Just get out of my way. Alright. Events go for villains and heroes.
Harbinger of chaos. You learned a hard lesson, boy. And now we will take a bit of your power. Be gone!
They're slightly different, but same thing almost.
The deep, dark magics of the underworld.
Villain, you're going to get Talia. The other one, you're going to get the Phantom.
You
Dude.
look up from that pit and see me again.
So,
Teenage angst. Who'd have
alright. So, when you come out here and buy Talia or whoever, there where you pick it up, there's a little Skeets vendor. And this one right here, I'll have a pumpkin on it. You can also get it in the Masquerade. So we have the Swarming Bats, which is 100. Kind of looks cool. Right there it is. Kind of flying around. The bats. That's kind of cool. New house decoration, the Boo family pet dog. This is the big one, the headless jacket this year. It looks so badass. So check this out. Look at that. It's gone. My head is gone. It's fucking gone. Oh my God. That's awesome. I want it. I want this so bad. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So kick ass. And then there's a bunch of other shit. Tons of other shit. Tons and tons and tons. Housing stuff. Collectibles. Masks. You know, all this other stuff. There's the new mask. It's Plague Doctor. Alright. Kind of cool. Yeah, some people make the wrong choice of studying something they choose only because of money. Yeah, that happened. Like, I know a couple people like that. And it's sad, man. It's really freaking sad. I'm like, what? Why'd you do that? And honestly, in what I did in my field, I've gotten to work with like people who had a degree, people who didn't have a degree. And at the end of the day, I honestly could tell people a degree is good because it gives you, I guess it gives you some education and at least more opportunity if something was to fail. I'll say that. But it shouldn't be the determining factor to lock you into a said position unless you're going medical or you're going legal. Because in my business, I always told people, I would have been one of those people who would have spent 4 to 5 years in college. I would have been in a ton of debt, in a ton of whatever. You're going to work for the headless jacket. Yeah, it's badass. I would have been one of those people had I not met my friend's mother who saw holy shit and recruited me. And I was the youngest to be recruited. And that experience was invaluable. Getting to hang out with the best in the industry at one time was the best experience of my life because they taught me so much. The Wolf of Wall Street, that was based on a true story, and that is practical. How he recruited his force, how they did it. They did a bunch of illegal shit, but they did it in a way that made them a shitload of money. It was immoral. It was immoral as fuck. That's why, I couldn't do certain things. Morality got the best of me in certain aspects. But I always tell people, if you have morals, don't go in business. If you have morals, don't do business. Don't do business if you're a moral person. Don't do it. Don't get it. Don't get into like money and financing if you have morals, man. Okay, 1 second. I gotta take the. Well, should probably call back. But honestly, yeah, about to wrap this up. Honestly, the one thing. What do I do for a living? Well, right now I'm a writer, but and I'm a content creator, but I write books now. I used to work in financing type stuff. So I used to work in banks, insurance. So I did annuities, mutual funds. I worked for credit card services, all that type of shit. So yeah, it was awesome. Like when I literally, I remember I used to do docket work. So I had what we call grunt work, and I used to do docket work. If anybody know what a docket is, it's you go to a courthouse and everything's public records and everything's laid in dockets, right? So I would pull up people's mortgages on the dockets, right? And if you guys ever got looked those you pre-qualify for 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, so like when they hired me, I had all the grunt work at one time, and I did dockets. And dockets was the most whatever. If you ever like gotten letters and it says you're pre-approved for a secondary mortgage up to, right? And they knew exactly how much you had in equity, right? That's what I did. That was my job. So I would pull areas of dockets, right? And I could literally do the math to figure out how much equity each of the people had available, right? To lend or to borrow against. And I would literally do all this work, right, to get pre-approvals. Now, pre-approvals are very important because that brought them into the office. Right? Now, once they got a notification that they were pre-approved, they come to my office, and then guess what I do? I go ahead and I try to get them an equity loan. Right? It doesn't matter what they're using the equity. Typically, people who use equity either are trying to refinance, which is fine, trying to, reduce compound interest, and compound interest is very serious, how compound interest works. Because if you're not aware of it, you're going to get snipped in your ass, and then that's a problem. And then or they can invest in their homes. However, there's multiple ways. I had no idea what the heck you're saying. Oh, about the business, like with dockets and stuff. Oh yeah, there's a lot to it. I mean, and I'm just kind of generalizing too. But so all of a sudden, when I have the equity, right? So I know how much they can borrow against, what the market looks like, right? I can go anything on this to lend them money. Now, when they take out the loan, I'm salary anyways. But here's my deal. He sounds like he smoked way too much pot. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean smoke too much pot? You talking about dockets? And I'm talking about equity loans. Dockets are in courthouses. Different dockets on a lot of stuff. But if you go into the courthouse, you can pull up housing dockets. Housing dockets will tell you who owns the property, who financed the loan, when the loan was initiated, how much the purchase was, and off the basis of all of that, you can get to the equity, how much equity they have established. So what's that got to do with pot? Anyways, so that's what I used to do. And then if they got the loan, they got it, I would try to also save them money with a homeowner's insurance. They'd be like, I'm like, you have homeowner's insurance? And they'll always say yes. And I'm like, would you like to see if we can reduce that, attach it to your loan? It would cost you nothing to see if we can save you money. You know, what you're currently paying out for. Because usually homeowners insurance are attached to your mortgage. So all of a sudden, I would try to do that as well. And if I could do that, then I got a bonus check. Would you consider yourself to be successful in your career? Well, at the time, yeah, I was the youngest at the time. I was the youngest person in my career at the time. I was 20 years old in three-piece suits behind a desk. I could close a loan and close sales faster than most 30 or 40-year-olds in my field, depending on the product. At the time, one time, Aon valued me very much because I did some services for Aon, and Aon loved me. I was an asshole. I was very arrogant. Very arrogant. Because I knew what my value was. I knew money. That's all I spoke at one time. Not for me personally, for the companies. Bottom line, bottom dollar. I've even had the privilege of meeting owners of giant corporations. I'm so fucking privileged. Oh, son of a bitch. I hated them. Fucking douchebags. I was never like one who like whatever. Like my boss had a Porsche, my other boss had a Jag, whatever. I wasn't one of those people. I drove a Thunderbird. You know? So I drove a flipping Thunderbird. While all of my other people were whatever. But hey, you pay your dues. No way your voice sounds not what you're talking about. No way the way your voice sounds. Now, well, the way my voice sounds? Well, born the way I'm born. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But that's kind of where I went, like, after my music thing did. After my music thing died, and I was like, whatever, I figured, man, what do I got to do, man? So I got in college, and of course, you know, I did all that. And then, like, I met my dude's mom, and I was in college, man. I literally was like, man, I'm going for business. I took the business classes in high school. I really like it, man. I love business. It's what I know. It's like, people have their niche. Like, I'm not a mechanical person. Like, I mean, technical with like computer stuff, I'm really nerdy. But with like automobile type stuff, no, man. My dude has like metallurgy. Like, to me, that's the shit. Like, I don't even know anything about metallurgy. I mean, I know basic, you know, metals and stuff from periodic table. But dude's like, he understands like the heating temperatures of each metal. He knows all this different shit about metals. And I think that's pretty friggin' cool. And he took that in like trade schools and shit. I'm like, dude, that's so badass. And it is. It like really is. It's badass. And I always feel like everybody has their niche, right? And at the end of the day, I don't want people to work for the wrong reasons. You got to have drive, man. Like, and when I used to, like, you know, hire anybody or people would work under me, like, I bring a person onto my team. And I'm like, I don't want a person who feels like they're privileged. I want a person who wants only one thing, to be successful. I want them with the ambition. I want them with the fire and the desire to prove not only to himself, but to prove other people that he's more than that, or she's more than that. One of my best sellers, and we call it sales, of course it is. Her conversion ratio was ridiculous. But she was always learning from me. And she was older than me by like 15 years. 15 years. And at first, when she first worked with me, she literally was like, what does this kid have to teach me? And the director was like, if you were smart, you would literally work with him. And then it was like asked, you know, hey, she wants to be on your team. I'm like, she wants to be on my team. I'm like, doesn't she not like me? I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't like me. Back to what I was saying, a lot of students at my college are so lazy they actual cheating when they're using a website. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe, like what? I mean, but I bet you that they're allowing it, right? If I'm not mistaken, they're probably allowing it even. You know? That's what's nuts to me. Like, I'm telling you, man. This is what, that to me would be whatever. I would tell people, like, seriously, you fail, you fail, you fail. You fail. I always have the one question when I ask somebody, man. Like, anybody want to talk about financing? This is what it comes down to. I say, what's the relevance of the Louisiana Purchase? If you cannot tell me the relevance of that agreement, then literally do not talk to me about economics. You could literally have a master's degree in economics. And if you don't understand the relevance of the Louisiana Purchase, then I don't ever want you to, you can just step the fuck away from me because you are not on my level. I want in detail the relevance of the Louisiana Purchase. And if you can't answer, you're nowhere close to my level in economics or financing. You never will be. Something you would think that would be that simple. Most people are fucking clueless. 95% of people are clueless about the relevance of the Louisiana Purchase. And I'm like, if you can't figure out the relevance of the Louisiana Purchase, step the fuck back. Get away from me. People will be appalled. But yeah, no, I mean, seriously, they should be doing something about that, but... Anyways, I do got to call this. I wouldn't know I'm not American. But the Louisiana Purchase has a lot of elements going on for it. From it's not just about being American, the Louisiana Purchase, because it has to do with the French as well. The Louisiana Purchase is very, very big. I'm not giving out answers or whatever. But from an economic standpoint, right, that is huge. What the Louisiana Purchase was, and its impact was immense. Not from just a historical standpoint, but from international economics was massive. And I always tell people, man, you have to understand the Louisiana Purchase as a whole and how it impacted trade, right, and interest. You have to understand the exact what was given up, what was agreed, and the impact of the agreement. And if you can understand that, you understand a lot more to economics, just based on the principle of the Louisiana Purchase from a fundamental standpoint. And why But why is the most important aspect. Because once you figure all of that out and you understand why it's relevant, then I can take any person who claims to understand economics serious. But until that is done, no. Like, I used to draw a prospectus. Like, people were like, you know, what I'm like, I can do anything. I was groomed since I was probably like a freshman in high school, you know, all the way up in business. So I can draw prospectuses. I understand inflation, economics, all of this. You know, I understand it very, very well, more than most, even people in the field. I would say, oh, I have a master's degree from Harvard in economics. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck ever. You're a fucking joke. No, I'm not. Well, you know, to a degree in certain things. Like, I know economics, but once again, I couldn't do mathematician. I couldn't do chemistry. There's a lot of things I can't do. So, and that's another thing. There are strengths and weaknesses, and that's what I tell people. Like, when it comes to business stuff, I'm good, man. I understand all that. Like, that's like what I know. Love watching your live streams. Thank you, brother. But like I said, there are people out there, like, I praise the mechanics, man. When my car goes to shit, and I'm like, and I understand what's happening, but I don't understand why it happened, or is there something else that needs fixed? That's when I praise mechanics. You see what I'm saying? So everybody deserves some praise, man. Everybody. And that's why I keep telling people, we all have our strengths and weaknesses in the world. And if we can bank on that a little bit more and, you know, be a little bit more appreciative, hey, man, just saying. I have appreciative for the pharmacist. When I go pick up my medicine or something, I appreciate that person in their position. So I have appreciation for people in their positions. You know, stock managers, have appreciation for them. Why? Organization skills. Come on. Man, I appreciate these type of people in our society. And it's important. Just saying. So I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. I never believe that. Someone's like, do you believe you're better? Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just have strengths. I know my strengths. And I know my weaknesses. JT, 2 S's. That should be just 1. Bias. Is it? Is it static? Anyways, man, I got to get going, man. I do want to thank everybody for watching. Remember, the event starts today. Get it in. Get it in. You can get 10 per character, right? That most of the new stuff is like 100. So 10 days, you could have it. We got 31 days. Bank it up. Get it in there. I'm telling you guys, enjoy it, enjoy, enjoy. Once again, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. And as always, thank you guys, and have a nice day.